for the 5-second board, waiting for the green flag, which goes up now. So the 5-second board goes out, and we are set for the final time, sadly, but excitedly at the same time, for the JMRG Catering Graduates. The Sigma 150 is about to go any second now. And Max Haynes shoots the gap. What a start from Max Haynes from the second row of the grid. Shoots the gap immediately through Sibbett and Howes. Howes was wheel spinning on pole position from the line, and Max Haynes, like a rocket, goes through the middle of them and straight into the right-hander at Richie's corner first. An incredible start for Max Haynes, looking for another victory. Wheel to wheel, 2 and 3 abreast on the corner exit. Now the sprint down towards the Wilson hairpin for the first time. All 31 have got through cleanly. And it's Haynes who leads, Sibbett in second. It's then Van Esten to third place, and Polster to Ian Howes has been shuffled from the front of the grid down to fourth in 2-1 corner already. Down to the left-hander at Palmer's. Also then Stephen Clark's made a quick start. Watch for him behind. He's got 72, William Bryant, going wheel to wheel with none of the orange and blue caterums in the background. There's Van Esten defending from a recovering Howes, trying to reclaim third place. But down towards Agostini, it is leader Max Haynes, followed by Sibbett, then Van Esten defending from Howes. Also around the outside there is Brian. I can't quite see who he's battling. It is Blue and Orange, and whoever he was battling makes contact with and gets out of shape, but holds on to the place for the moment. Out through by left-hander. And back to Oggies. Another car going sideways in the background. He's almost lost a front wing already. I thought he had, but it's just very well hidden given it's black. And it is, again, couldn't see the number, but they're packing up 2 by 2 through the midfield at Oggie's corner, but onto the back straight for the first time. It is a cracking start for Haynes. That's genuinely one of the best starts of the weekend. Just shot the gap strictly. He was rocket propelled from the second row of the grid, straight through up onto the lead, and not really looking back now for the next, 18.5 minutes.
Yeah, wow. We usually see starts like that from a Dutch driver named Max, but Max Haynes, what a start that was. Unbelievable. Threaded the needle straight through the drivers on the front row and immediately into the lead of the race. As we say, he won race number 1 yesterday. Let's see if he can make it a win in race 3 as well here. Battles continuing on then. That was for 4th place as they headed down through the bomb hole for the first time. But still, as we always see in K2M racing, all the drivers following in tow. We've not split off into any groups just yet. We continue to press on through this race then. Here is the number 99, your race leader of Max Haynes, as we say, closely followed then by James Sibbett, and more drivers squabbling in behind. There's the 50 of McCall getting a nice run there out of Murray's, and he'll use that slipstream. I was going to say all the way out the front straight. He's not. He's pulled out really early to try and make use of said slipstream, but been forced to the outside line then as I head into T1. Either way, it's worked out for him. There he goes up into P4. Nice move there from Howes. Gets it done. Shuffles McCall then back into 5th place. That's a bit of a wide moment there through T1. Has done well to hold that one. Get it back onto the black stuff as they get themselves all sorted out. I think the 50 there actually ended up losing a position at McCall after all of that. So after making up the place on Howes, that was right. Howes then decides to fire his way back through at the following corner. And they change yet again. Number 3 of Clark as well getting involved. He's been impressive throughout this race weekend, has Stephen Clark. And once again, getting involved in the leading squabble here. Only just a few minutes into the race then. Lap 1 completed. And top 6 still absolutely line astern. But Haynes, beautiful start, beautiful first lap. And continues to weather the storm at the sharp end, which isn't the easiest thing to do in a group of caterums. But for the moment, Haynes continues to lead.
He does. Only by a quarter of a second across the line. But Sibbett and Co keeping it quite honest here. S into third place. McCall, Howes, Clark, Bryan, Warner, Morden, Smith is the top 10. Max Haynes then will head them on to the back straight for the second time, with Sibbett keeping close pursuit in the green and purple machine. Definitely one of the drivers to watch out for in that sense. As we look further back, that is 112 that's a look further back. Andy Whitten started back in 19th place. Currently running at the moment outside the top 16 at least, as Sibbett goes to the front. So he's got past Haynes on the back straight, as you'd anticipate he would do in typical catering fashion. I said that phrase again. Which has been quite a common theme given all the 60s races. So excited, I'm kicking my chair over in the background on top of that, even so. And that's how exciting catering racing is. Kick your chair over. Meanwhile, going back to the leaders, much more important matters than my chair falling over.
As long as it's a chair and not a bucket, mate.
Yes, fine. Exactly. William Van Esten in third place. It's good point. Fourth place for Ian Howes, followed by then it's McCall in fifth place and Clark in sixth. Stephen Clark, remember, he started from 14th in race 1 and won the race. James McCall putting that right. So, no, Max Haynes putting the being passed of a lead, right? Look at William Van Ness down the outside of both James Sibbett. Sibbett was so busy trying to repass and defend Max Haynes, and Van Ness said, excuse me, out the way you go, I'm coming through for second place. Might be with leads. He comes up the inside of Haynes for the run towards Wilson hairpin. Can he make the move stick? Yes, he can, and through goes William Van Ness, puts the golf-coloured car into P1. Haynes will try and get the better punch off the corner back on the exit towards Palmer. He'll be on the outside, which is that slightly off-camber part of the corner. Thinks about it, puts a wheel alongside the rear of Van Ness's machine. And Van Ness has got a rookie cross on his car as well, so he's obviously a newcomer. For a rookie, John, he ain't half bad.
Amazing, amazing, especially given the fact that he's a rookie. He's battling so well. Locks the front left, though, as they head down into Agostini. Is able to bleed off the brakes lovely there. As soon as that started to lock, he bled off of it, held the speed, and holds the lead as well. Through we continue on then into Hamilton, and again, they're squabbling for the race lead. Gonna say it again, add 2 more Caterhams, add 2 more Caterhams, and add 2 more Caterhams. This group is getting bigger to the delight of us in the commentary box, and I'm sure everyone trackside and everyone watching at home as well. We continue to press on then. Less than 15 minutes left to go. For the first time in this race, Van Ness through into the lead of the race, staying there for the moment. At the end of this straight, I'm not sure I'm going to be saying the same thing. Immediately, Haynes pulls out to the outside line then, and look at this from Sibbett as well, using the slipstream beautifully, and they might even almost make it 3 wide. Not quite enough from Sibbett to make it 3 wide, but we will go 2 by 2 into the braking zone. Van Ness doing a beautiful job though, holding it round the outside and keeping the lead. Fantastic racing from a driver who once again has a rookie cross on the back of his car.
Not driving that one, is he though? He's certainly
not at all.
Against drivers who don't have one, of course, and he's driving like he's doing it for a while. He's taken to Caterham racing pretty quickly. What did I say this was? Like the Formula Ford of sports cars, and it really is proving its worth right now. Of course, very simple similarities. No aero, of course, lots of slipstreaming, lots of pack racing, of course, narrow tyres, Ford engines, of course, and it's all down to no aero grip. It's all down to mechanical driver skill, all in terms of a setup and mechanical grip and driver skill. Max Haynes, for the 3rd time, trying to get the lead down the pit straight as William Bryant sets the new fastest lap of the race, 2:09.424. Now, what's the lap record for the? Remind ourselves again for the 150s. I was getting excited because I thought it was for the 135, which is a 2:11. So I wonder what it was. I think it was in your notes you had the lap record, didn't you, from a couple of years ago. As Van Ness has gone through, back to hold on to a lead. Haynes is back in 2nd place. Sibbett's the 3rd. Look at Stephen Clarker down the outside. 2:08.376 is the lap record, and that was a 2:09, wasn't it, for the lap time from William Bryant, if my live timing resets itself.
Best time we've had today is a 2:08.8 already in the previous race. That was from Henry Heaton.
That's correct. You're absolutely right. So that was Henry Heaton, who he's not in this race. That's quite strange. So Henry's not in this race, which I'm confused as to why he isn't. But that's a car drive missing from the race. He did have that off in race 2 when he went straight on. Whether it was a brake issue or something else that's come up, which meant he is prevented him from racing. Quite strange. But no Henry Heaton in this race, unfortunately, which means that Van Ness and co get a chance to try and stand up on top step. But Heaton, of course, is going to be in the mix as well. Ian Howe's getting a little sideways as he just twitches the rear end through Oggy's, posturing the car as he tweaks his way through. Haynes just riding over the curb on the inside, which gives Sibbett the chance to really lock in. He's got a double toe from both Haynes and Van Ness, and here comes the purple and green machine. Haynes will go to the outside line. Sibbett has to pick a lane and goes to the outside. Then goes further to the outside of Haynes. They both pass Van Ness. Now it's side by side for belief between Sibbett and Haynes. They both come together. Van Ness retaliates on the inside of Brundle. They have the outside for Nelson. Sibbett tries to stand his ground, but Van Ness, again, with a rookie cross, round the outside of Sibbett into Nelson. And look at Stephen Clark. He gets the momentum up the inside, into the bomb hole, into 3rd place he goes. William Van Ness, battling like a veteran, but he's definitely a rookie.
Yeah, William Van Ness has confidence in spades, doesn't he? There, hanging it round the outside. It almost looked as though Sibbett was going to go for the race lead there, but aggressive chop across from Haynes. Saw him then have to battle for 2nd place, and then Van Ness closed the door on him as well. Gets shuffled back and now loses the position. That's Clark who snuck on through then. Up into the top 3 he goes, fittingly driving car number 3. Number 3 into 3rd place, but for how much longer? Again, we're battling for 3rd, and moves over to the inside line to cover off the potential move there from Sibbett as we press on now onto lap number 5 of this race. It is still Bryant though in 5th place with the fastest lap of the race here. Let's see how he gets stuck in with the leading squabble as well. We're side by side for 4th now on corner exit. That's Sibbett trying to hold on from Bryant. He's got that fastest lap, but for the moment can't quite get the position. And once again, we'll have to nestle in behind. As actually, I'm not 100% sure that is Brian, as there was a rookie cross on the back of the car, but we'll see. They're all continuing to chop and change so much in this pack. I can't even work out who anyone is. That is classic Caterham Racing. It was the 72. It was Bryant getting involved, and Bryant is indeed a rookie. My apologies to Mr. Bryant, but anyway, he's getting stuck in. He has the fastest lap, looking very feisty, but this squabbling for third place is just allowing for Haynes and Van Ness to continue to drive up the road. Not something we usually say in Caterhams.
No, it's a rarity you get a massive gap in Caterham. It's very un-Caterham-esque, shall we say, in that sense. But yeah, Haynes and S trying to pull away. In fact, Haynes is pulling away from S, and both of them pulling away from the battle of the third, which is headed by Sibbett, with Clark, Bryant, Howes and McCall in there as well. This is now third down to seventh. And now look at this, they're all trying to weave around to find a groove. And Stephen Clark wasn't going to play Chase the Snake. He was going to go to the inside line to try and quickly go for third position. Gets the toe, gets the run down the straight, and in towards Brundle. Nelson in front before he even turns left towards Brundle, and then pitching it right for Nelson. Howes still in the mix as well. Of course, he started on pole, having set the third hit. Can't speak. However, his third fastest time was the fastest of the respective third fastest times of every other driver, hence how he got pole for race number 3. But from a pretty shaky start and lightning getaway we saw from Max Haynes from the second row of the grid, that was exactly what was key to see. So Haynes turns in through Murray's corner, neatly sort of clipping the curb and just sliding the car nicely through the apex at the last turn. Back onto the pit straight they'll go. S might get a bit of a toe down the pit straight to try and close in on him. Not close enough to trouble him. New fastest lap of the race, 2-minute 9.327 for William Van Ness. He got a small toe from him to help him do that. It's Sibbett, Clark, Howes, Brian McCall. Then the next couple of cars is Morden and Smith. Warner in P10. I think Warner was 10th. Yeah, no, he is 10th because he has got past Hughes. And Amanda Anderson is in 12th position, so hovering around the top 10. Good effort from her so far again. As we see Bryant holding off Hughes. No, he got past Howes, in fact, to 5th position, so that's a change of place for them. Next target was try and chase after Clark, who in turn is trying to chase after Bryant and Sibbett. That's for Haynes and S. They're staying together, but the gap between them was 1.8 seconds between first and third. And S is going with Max Haynes now as the third place battle tries to chase him down with 8 and a bit minutes to go.
Yeah, he is indeed very much going with Haynes, isn't he? Those two within 4 thousandths of a second of each other's lap times on the last time around, with Van Ness ever so slightly quicker. As I say, 4 thousandths, not really catching by a huge amount, but we'll see if Van Ness can settle into it, find a bit more pace as well, maybe close that gap back to the leader once more. But really, we need to see those two start to go at it hammer and tong here for the last 8 minutes if we want the likes of Sibbett, Clark, Howes, Bryan and McCall all getting back involved. It's then about 2.5 seconds back to Maud, who's leading then this next battle pack, which the cameramen so beautifully pan to. Maud then from 8th place backwards, battling in with Smith, Warner, Hughes and Anderson. Barrett's in with them as well, so's Elliott, so's Gibson, so again a massive long train. But here another change for the lead, uses the slipstream well, does Van Ness, and back to the sharp end he goes.
He does. Again, he's got a rookie cross on him, but he's not driving like one. He's got Max Haynes right on his tail, Sibbett trying to chase after. The next group are going line stern here, being led by now, look at number 86, which is Oliver Smith. He's moved his way to the front of the group. Now, he was 9th at the start of this group. He's now into 8th position, now past Brendan Maud as they come out through Murray's again. Max Haynes putting himself in that position where he can tow him up the straight and possibly make the move, because he tends to do this. He tends to go into the last corner and onto the pit straight behind the car he wants to beat, ironically. He gets the tow and moves himself alongside, which he's doing right now outside of our commentary box window. Oh, wow. I think we had a new lap record. James Sibbett does a 2:08.085. That is that's correct. Well, it's come up on the screen, but it's broken anyway, because if that wasn't true, Van Ness has done a 9.327. I think there was a glitch on the timing screen, because the timing screen doesn't tell me that he's done that. I'll refresh it for a second, see if it does come up. No, it was correct, 2:08.085. My timing screen was lagging, so by far that's doing that record. That's incredible. 2:08.085 for James Sibbett, third place in the green and purple car. A brand new lap record. How much does it break it by? Is it 8/10 he's broken it by?
I think 3/10 he's broken it by in terms of the all-time lap record, but in terms of this weekend's lap records, he has beaten that by 8/10. So fair play. What a lap from Sibbett, and that's being shown by his track position. He's closed right back up to our leading two.
Really has. So it's now Sibbett now going for the victory, not just the podium place, and closing up to the top two. Haynes, Van Ness and Sibbett now in the podium position. Stephen Clark in 4th. Then it's Howes and Bryant. Bryant also, of course, remember, is on a rookie cross as well. 5 3/4 minutes to go. Through Williams as they go. They're on lap 7 of this 20-minute race. And again, Civic will get the double toe, because you'd be surprised how much of a toe you really can get in Caterhams. You get a massive one, much bigger than you think. You can see it with 2 cars in front. Civic's getting an absolute feast of a turbo boost down the back straight. And he tries to have a look, but he finds his way blocked because Van Ness was trying to make a move on Haynes. Haynes had enough momentum to keep the line through Brundle and through Nelson, so Civic sits back in 3rd. This might allow Clark, Howes and Bryant a chance to get back in, because you saw even from quite a far distance, Civic was getting quite a strong toe, and likewise Van Ness on Haynes. So you might want to start to close in. If he gets a good run through the bomb hole, through Coram and out of Murray's and onto the pit straight, there's a good chance he might want to close up into them even further. But he's right there, in fact, so this could be an option to watch out for if we get more than 3 cars in this lead group. Out of Murray's, still Haynes, S, Civic, then it's Clark, Howes and Bryant. That's the order now. And then it's possibly Brendan Ward, I think, has gone to 7th place. McCall has dropped back a little bit. They go side by side for the lead, and there goes Van S in front. Yes, he does. He's gone through now. So that's now, once again, Van S hitting the front. And Civic's got good momentum through Richie's corner. Out wide goes Clark and holds on to it. Lucky to get lucky to get away with that one. Back up the inside goes Haynes. I'll take it back if you don't mind. Thank you. And back into the place he goes. And actually shuts Van Ness out completely, just comes across and holds up. That kills his momentum, and how he comes Civic down the outside line to pick up 2nd place. A good move out on the outside for Civic, and he does make it stick, yes. So good effort there from James Civic, new lap record holder, 208.085. Down towards Agostini again. I think it's the cooler conditions are helping Costa, because in cooler conditions you can regulate the tyre temperatures and pressures much better, and the engines with its cooler can breathe better as well in many cases, because of course depending on how cool the air is. So therefore I reckon it's possibly helping the engines breathe better, perform better, and the tyres run better in that optimal operating range to be able to keep their optimal pressures and temperatures, so then drivers like Civic with a toe are getting these new lap record times.
Indeed, yeah, it's amazing to see the times that we're seeing, and all these Caterhams are singing in unison, aren't they, as we now fly down the back straight once again. This time with Van Ness leading the way ahead of Haynes and Civic, but I think I can see this one going down to the final corner on the last lap. I mean, I say that, I could have just said it's a Caterham race. I would have inferred the same thing, wouldn't I? As we continue on side by side down to the end of the back straight. This is Civic getting involved this time, looking around the outside of Haynes. Can't quite get it done, but he has gone through into 2nd place once more then. So Van Ness back down into 3rd. Again, just trading places, these top 3. Let's see if Clark, Bryant and Howes can close in. And this battle as well from 7th place back, the likes of Maud, Smith, Anderson, Warner and a few other drivers involved as well. That is not settling down anytime soon either, as we look further back, and I can say exactly the same.
You can. There's battles everywhere you look in Caterham graduates. It's exactly the essence of Caterham racing, up and down the order. This next group is headed by 128 at the moment, at least. 137 is looking up the inside. That is battle between Gould and Price. That's for 18th position downwards. Also in there too is Hoare and Isherwood Crook. So that's 18th to 21st battling amongst each other. Leaders have gone down towards Ritchie's again, with just about 2.5 minutes left on the clock. They're going to get 2 more laps, just about, I think. Given the time at the moment, where are we at now? It is coming up to almost 5:45, and the timetable, of course, is 6:30 curfew. So I think if we do get this one in, we should actually get in quite good time, actually. The final race of the weekend, which is Clapham North Mazda MX-5 Super Cup, as the cameraman eventually finds the track down at Ritchie's corner. As we've got more battling going on here. That's scrap for 18th, 19th, 20th and 21st all together now. 3 Ritchies. Back towards the Wilson hairpin. Back to our leaders. Haynes now with Civic on his tail. Van Ness in 3rd position. Then we've got the next group of cars headed now, I think, by Ian Howes. That's Clark, in fact, going back up the inside of both Bryant and... Clark's defending from Bryant and also repassing Howes in the process. He's back into 4th place now, but they're quite a few seconds back now as they go into Hamilton, the left-hander.
What did we say earlier? The best form of defence is attack.
Absolutely. And Clark is certainly proving that one. And I'd like to say they're too far away to trouble the top 3. As I say, this is a Caterham race. You're never that far away to trouble them unless there's a trouble. And Van Ness has actually lost a bit of momentum in exiting Olgies and Williams. He's actually dropped back a couple of tenths. So now it's Haynes versus Civic for the lead, unless those two come to blows. And let's face it, it's a Caterham race. They will, in a positive sense. So he'll come back into it, and also he'll get a double toe from them as well. Civic hits the front as they go through, but locks up into Brundle. Carries that locked inside front all the way through Nelson. It's a tiny tap of the tail, I think, from Max Haynes. They're on the accelerator to try to get back towards the bomb hole as quickly as possible. And also you can see Clark's not really making any inroads to the top 3. He's actually defending from Howes more than he is trying to push on. So he's losing time to the cars around him. So now they come on to the last lap of the race. The last race of the weekend, last race lap of the weekend for the Caterhams in total at Snetterton, which I'm quite disappointed about because it's been so great racing on their first race since being permanently joining the BRSGC. They've had a credit to the weekend and, of course, to coming back, of course, for Caterham racing. One more lap of the Snetterton 300 circuit, side by side for the lead. Here we go.
Yeah, don't be sad it's over, be happy it's happened, and we got one more lap to enjoy it as well. Back to the front then goes Haynes, uses the slipstream beautifully, round the outside he goes, and back into the lead. I think maybe that bit of time lost onto the back straight for Van Ness could actually be a bit of a blessing in disguise, because it's forced him to stay in third place here. If he can play his cards right across the last lap, he could set himself up for potentially stealing away a position or two here through the final lap. Well, all stays as it was then, down through Wilson once more. Haynes ahead of Sibbett, ahead of Van Ness. Through the left they go, down through Palmer once again, and then flying down to the heavy braking zone of Agostini. Once again, a potential overtaking opportunity here. Will Sibbett think about it as we've got a driver off there through turn 1. Another one of our novice cross drivers sadly off at T1. But there we go then, Sibbett looking for it, not able to get a move done. And as you say, soaring at the wheel there through Agostini, trying to keep Van Ness behind. He's done it for now, but these are the crucial few corners, aren't they? Down through into Oggies, and then out of Williams onto the back straight. 3 absolutely line astern, and we will say Clark, Bryan and Howes have been battling, but they really aren't that far behind.
We'll wait and see. Hold your breath. Onto the back straight for the final time. Haynes leads it. Sibbett in second. S in third, but who wins it is anyone's guess as they come back towards the line. We've got Howes battling Clark. He's busy defending to try and close them to the top 3. Down the back straight here they come. Sibbett to the outside line. He takes the lead. Haynes gets back to the slipstream. He goes back to the outside line. Esco's trying to do the outside of Haynes. Can't make it happen. And back round the outside he goes, side by side to Brendan Nelson. Haynes back through into the lead. Here goes Van Ness on the exit too. Sibbett sideways. Haynes leads it side by side for second. Van Ness to the inside. Sibbett hangs tough round the outside at the bomb. Holds on to it for the time being. Can you say at Coram? But this battle might cost them the victory here because Haynes is trying to get away and dry here. Side by side, the two of them are so fussed with each other, they're not actually going to catch Haynes, I don't think. He might be a second win of the weekend, 4 in the 99. Altenborough to the final time. S and Sibbett will try and close, but it's going to be too late in what's been a barnstorming weekend, all weekend long for all 6 races. The Caterham graduates end it with another victory for Max Haynes in Sigma 150. Side by side to a line, and it was S who beat Sibbett to the flag and got second place by 42 1,000ths of a second. Again, in typical Caterham fashion. And then it was Clark who got fourth, Howes who got fourth in the end, just missing the podium, but fourth in the battle between himself and Clark. And he beat Clark by 20 1,000ths of a second, 0.020, the gap between fourth and fifth in the end. With Bryant in sixth, and Amanda Anderson, incredible effort for her, of course, 7th place. Great job from Amanda. Credit to her for a fantastic drive to get up there as well. Excellent job from Amanda in car 47. And then it's Maud, Smith and Warner in the top 10. But I have to say, if you're watching on the live stream as well, I ask you to give these guys, via clapping emojis, give these guys a round of applause in the chat. As Caterham graduates, you have done yourself proud this weekend. 6 exceptional races. Welcome to BRSGC. We are glad to have you, and you can stay as long as you want because that is fantastic. They're with us for the season at least this year, and what a great job they've done. Of course, thanks to everyone involved with Caterham graduates, of course, the JMRG, to everyone in the paddock. They've proven that Caterham racing belongs on the BRSGC package. It is back via Caterham graduates, back with a bang, and boy, we're glad to see it again.
Yeah, what an honour it's been to commentate over the Caterham graduates. Of course, Caterham's with a special place in my heart from my youth, but they should have a special place in your heart now after we've seen the races here this weekend. I'm definitely going to be following this one throughout the season. Amazing racing there for the JMRG Caterham Graduates Championship. We had the same in the 135s, the same again there in the 150s. An epic race to finalise the day for the Caterhams at least. We've still got one more race left to go, don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. But there you go then. Haynes on top, Van Ness second, Sibbett third. Haynes second win of the weekend. Van Ness has put in a P10, then a P4, and then a P2. Amazing improvement over the weekend for the driver with the rookie cross on the back of his car. And then Sibbett just missing out on a top 2 there. We should still be very happy with third place and the fastest lap and potentially new lap record.
Yeah, definitely so. So Max Haynes then victorious, William Van Ness and James Sibbett in the top 3. Ian Howes takes 4th from Stephen Clark. And then we have Amanda Anderson with an excellent 7th from Maud, Smith and Warner in the top 10. Then, quickly rattle them through, Barrett, Hughes, Elliott, Gibson, Whittam, Price, White, Raymond, and Hoare and Gould in the top 20. Then Isherwood, Crook 21st from Ewings, followed by the rest of them as they go through. Yes, Ewing's from there. It's Molson, Bridington, Buxton, Waitman, Appleton, Dixon, Evans and McCall in the 30 drivers. 22 races down, 1 to go. Another P1 for Max Haynes. He had to work hard for that one, as did the top 3. Let's have a chat to Max and the top 3 for our penultimate race of the weekend here at Snetterton with our roving reporter Rob Lewis, who's down there in Parc Ferme once again.
A very happy Max Haynes. Now, he won race 2, don't forget, and he wasn't too happy with the drive. Was this better?
From my side, a lot better, yeah. Yeah, a lot better. I drove a lot better. Car's still struggling a little bit with understeer, but fair play to Dave at DKS. He definitely dialed it in a little bit more. If you're ever thinking about coming Caterham racing, definitely go with DKS because they're good people.
And what about the club? They've had a great opening weekend with the BRCC.
Yeah, it's been stellar so far. You can just see by the club are doing something right with the size of the grids. So yeah, long live Caterham graduates.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on a great overall win. I'm just going to grab our second place man there, William Van Es. William, first of all, beautifully prepared car, nice and bright, and it doesn't look like there's a mark on it despite how close the racing is.
It's amazing racing. CTS did a good job prepping the car, fantastic job prepping the car. Everybody said they can see me from the sidelines, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it seems to have stood me in good stead for the race. And yeah, first car race ever, and being on the podium at the end of it couldn't have gone better.
What have you transitioned from?
I did karting a long time ago, 2007 to 14, and then didn't do anything for a long time. Wanted to come back racing. And this is not so different to go-karting, to be honest. It's just got a gearbox, which is a bit annoying, but it's great fun. The racing is incredibly close and fair, and everybody has a laugh after it, so great place to come.
And it's been a fantastic race, and for your spoils you have got second place. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
There, that's our second place man. And James Sibbett in third place. You've had a good weekend as well.
Not bad at all, is it? So yeah, really happy with that, especially after the disaster of the DNF in race 2. Great to bounce back from that. Car went superbly, thanks to Toby, my mechanic, for making sure the car's running smoothly as always. And yeah, it was such a tough race. I was trying to follow a game plan to be in second place going into the last lap. All went to plan, but then Max just sent it round the outside of me. Proper move, and then Will snuck through as well. So yeah, happy with third.
Now, my producers just told me in my ear that you've potentially got the new lap record. What's your thoughts?
I'm dead chuffed with that. So it's a win from something at least. So yeah, I'll take that for sure.